level so we can hear you.
Aloha, Clare Principal Noa, Nohoao, I Kohono Kahao Maka, Hana Hono Kumalua, Makiniki. I'm Clare Principal, most of you know me. I live in Hono Kahao Maka. I'm 62 years old. I've been working on these issues ever since I was very young, and I'm passionate about it. That's a lot from my own bloodlines of being Sichio. The Sichios in northern Africa, they're definitely Sichio. But when I come and listen, I'm always trying to learn. No matter how much I know as an actress, I'm still learning even today. I mean, I came here to talk about respect. This was a basic things. So if someone introduces a bill, like Margaret, and they're not being asked on that, that's not respect. So those are big things, I think, and no matter whose culture we come from, we all know respect. We all know murder, we all know love. So I see, even in these last elections, I see both Danny and Margaret on something like that. But then when I come here and I listen to these surf riders and Jam and those guys over there, and I'm going, you know, sometimes if you try to start all from the beginning or task force, and I've been on all these things, I've been on councils, I've been on all these things. And when you do this, sometimes if you bite off too much and try to save everything, if you don't do just the styrofoam, then you're not going to get anything done. Or you're going to walk away like the Constitution of the United States does, with a freaking headache, and only rich Caucasian men getting everything they want, and everybody else getting screwed out of it. So because you're going to argue and argue and argue, and finally you're going to have enough of a headache, you're going to go, okay. So I really like that idea of reintroducing that bill as it is, and coming back and helping the man that has a business back there, you know, that he can get a business in this. Because if you've gone into Haiti, which I've done a lot of work in Haiti, they have no infrastructure. So if you smell burning plastic all the time, if you smell this stuff, you can't. And I also agree with the woman that was sitting next to me. You know, you packaging this plastic and recycling, we need to reduce, rethink, and reuse. But we need to stop bringing plastics in, and we need to do that with education. So there's a lot of great ideas, and we went so far. And it really is kind of shameful, I think, that for one business, that something would be passed.
30 seconds.
You gotta go from your heart on that. So I'm gonna go into my second 3 minutes that I got, and then I will finish with mahalo for those that are leaving and hoping that you don't really leave before that. And that is for the Philippines. And that is because now I've got one of my opponents got 25%. You know, more than my own bloodline of Filipino. So the way we trained and taught our children, we taught them at home until they went to college, and they did get 4 words in college, and they did work. And was to be proud of who they come from and where they come from, and to know the history of their people, the struggle of their people. And I know for my son-in-law, he's half Jamaican and half Filipino. And most Filipinos don't even look at him as a Filipino. But he was raised with Filipinos. And that was not really so easy. They're probably the bottom of the rung at that time. And so we make sure our Mo'opuna, she goes to all of her Filipino parties every year. I don't care about Christmas, so it's all good with them. And that she was going to be very strong in her Filipino side, because that's 25% of her bloodline. And I need to be very strong and know more and more of the history, which is what it's done in the last 10 years, is to learn more and more of the history of Filipinos. Because it comes down to pride and loving ourselves. Because as a mamana, or as a limitrice, or as a politic, whatever you call it, as a midwife, I have kuleana and accountability. And I cannot wait for everybody to say, okay, I'm finally, you know, I'll do this. I'll start using ultrasounds. And thank you, Ninth Circuit Court, for making our seas a lot stronger. No more solar bonding from impact. That happened on July 50th. It was my birthday. That was a great prize. And what's happening at impact, which is why right now Joe is not here. Because he is meeting with 4 legislators, senators, and representatives about our island being bombed for 6 weeks. Bombing, for drone wars. We have the opportunity here in all cultural stuff and in everything we do to bring in pride and aloha and Malama and Kumu. I am so honored that I am recognized as a cultural practitioner over here, and I am. Because when Papa White wrote that rule and that law, you had to be able to come from a direct link. I have. My Sicilian side has never broken that link. I was passed on to do this work. So now, with this Filipino, I will now be able to help her pass on what her culture is.
30 seconds.
So I want to thank you, and I'm going to spend the next 30 seconds, I'm going to be very good and very respectful, because I'm talking about respect today. So I want to thank Danny, Ilagan, Onishi, for all the good things that you guys did. Marvin, and I want you guys, hopefully, to stay with us, work with us, because this is a big thing that we have to do, and that we all have our strong sides. So big mahalos, as much as I attacked some of you, and I will probably continue to do it again, unless you change sides, but mahalo, big aloha, so how again? Big aloha to you, and I picked the brown and the yellow for the kupuna and for the middle age, because that's where you guys are moving to. You guys are Miss Margaret, I put a lot of fire on hers because we are in the time.
Thank you for it.
And Onishi. So
She just got to you, so.
Oh, you're welcome. And big mahalos, especially when you came
Thank
out
you.
for Waiala. Danny, you were the only one that recognized the Reaper at the Democratic. We're watching. Big mahalos. The only Democrat that recognized was Danny. So
Thank
big
you.
mahalos. Okay, that's it. See you again. We hope.
Okay,